Jesse Pinkman, from Breaking Bad, is a deeply tragic and psychologically complex character. His journey is defined by manipulation, inner turmoil, and a gradual loss of control over his life, making him one of the most relatable yet heartbreaking figures in the series. From the beginning, Jesse is manipulated by Walter White, who sees him as someone he can control. Walt knows Jesse's weaknesses, his insecurities, his craving for approval, and his lack of direction, and he uses those to manipulate him into staying in the drug business. Despite Jesse wanting to leave or find a better path for himself, he keeps getting pulled back in by Walt's influence. Walt often presents himself as a father figure, giving Jesse guidance or even fake sympathy, which keeps Jesse trapped in their toxic partnership. Jesse's life is filled with loss and pain. He loses people he cares about, such as Jane, his girlfriend, whose death devastates him. He blames himself, even though it's partially because of Walt's decisions. Jesse can't handle the weight of that guilt. He spirals into depression and drug use, trying to numb the pain, but it only makes things worse. This constant cycle of pain, guilt, and self-destruction is what fuels his inner demons. Jesse often feels like he is a bad person, undeserving of love or redemption, which leads him to give up on himself. Under pressure, Jesse crumbles. His mind is fragile, often torn between trying to do the right thing and being pulled into situations where he has no control. The violence and the moral decay that surround him break him down. When Jesse tries to make moral decisions, like wanting to protect innocent people or stop hurting others, he's often caught in a web of lies, manipulation, and threats from both the drug world and Walt. It leaves him feeling powerless. As Jesse's mind is eroded by all the loss, guilt, and manipulation, he starts to give up on life. There are moments when he doesn't care if he lives or dies, and his self-worth plummets. He becomes a shell of the person he once was, deeply haunted by the things he's done and the things that have happened to him. Jesse is interesting because, despite everything, he has a core of decency and goodness in him. He's not ruthless like Walt, but that makes him more vulnerable to being manipulated and hurt. Psychologically, Jesse's mind is a battleground of conflicting emotions: guilt, shame, sadness, and the longing for something better. But every time he tries to escape the darkness, something drags him back in. His inability to fully control his life, his reliance on others for approval, and his tendency to self-destruct make him a deeply human character. He is constantly fighting against his inner demons, and while he doesn't always win, his struggle is what makes him so compelling. So basically, Jesse's mind is a portrait of a broken soul trying to find peace in a world that won't let him. He deals with the crushing weight of his mistakes, his losses, and the manipulation he's endured, making his journey one of survival and inner conflict.